right now?
We got 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna put a tablespoon and a half of flour in there and brown that till the flour is cooked through and seasoned almost like a roux. Then to that, once we get it going, to build the flour and sauce base up, I like to add this savory herb and garlic. We're gonna add that with 2 cups of water, and we're gonna add a little Pinot Grigio, any white wine to do with pork. We're gonna add that and infuse it until we have like a sauce, and we're gonna lay the rack of pork in there, stick it in the oven, 325 for 2.5 hours until the internal temperature reaches 145, 150. And we'll get back with you and show you the step-by-step process. We don't want a gravy, but we want it like a roux, / roux sauce. It's one of my secret recipes, and I hope you enjoy it and have just as much fun as I did preparing it. You enjoy it, prepare it, eat it, and share it with your friends, and let me know what you think. 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour into the hot oil. 1, 2. Remember, the tablespoon is the big spoon, and the teaspoon is your small spoon. For some of us who may not be aware of that. We're gonna take this here, put this in here. And when I buy my flour, it does not come seasoned. So we have to season the flour, and we're gonna have to cook the flour taste out. So touch of black pepper, not too much, because we got a lot on the roast pork, just to give it some seasoning. We're just looking for a little flavor. A touch of thyme. We're just looking for some flavor. That's all we're looking for. Making the flour taste like a nice flavor. Touch our little Greek seasoning here. And we're making a roast pork, so you really don't want to go too crazy with it. And we're gonna just let the flour cook, and then we'll stir it as it starts to cook, preferably a wooden spoon. And just let it go. We're just gonna cook the flour out of it. Cook the flour. And we don't want it too brown because we want our pork to have a light sauce, but we want to cook the flour out of it. Even though it's gonna bake in the oven for 2.5, we still want to cook our flour out of it. And once this gets good and going, to infuse our sauce, that's when we're gonna come in with the savory garlic soup mix. Instead of water, we're gonna add that, and that's gonna give that gravy some flavor. We're gonna add the wine, that's gonna give it flavor. Then we're gonna set our rack of pork in there, cover it up with our vegetables. We're gonna let that cook undisturbed. An hour into the cooking, we're gonna take our celery, peppers, onions, and carrots, and more parsley and garlic, and throw it on top of the pork, and let it just roast down so the pork could absorb all that flavor.
Record now. Okay.
This is a soup, and when adding it to the gravy, always add it a little at a time because it's gonna make a thick sauce. Just a little bit. Hold that. Get your wooden spoon. And look at that beauty there. Look at that sauce just thickening up. Look at that. Isn't that what we're seeking? Isn't that what we're seeking? Nice and brown. Oh, it's gonna be fantastic over that pork, I guarantee it. Now we can add a little more. We're just gonna easy. Just gonna dump the whole two cups in there. Just go easy. Now it's gonna thin out a little bit. Easy. Easy. Now watch this here. Don't tell nobody. That's the soup base. It makes a gravy, and it makes a wonderful soup and sauce. Now that's wonderful. Look at that, how it's just picking up steam there. Doing fantastic. That's what we're looking for. And I also lowered my fire. One, because you haven't had to brown the flour. We're just taking the taste out of it. That's all. All right, we're gonna add a little bit more of this wonderful. I wish you could smell this garlic and herb soup. We're gonna add a little more. This is gonna be rich. We may add another cup to it. I think 1 more cup would do us fine. Then we add our wine in there and just lay your rack of pork in there. And here's the good part about this dish. You get to sit down for 2 hours. Don't look, let it cook. You don't have to babysit this dish. And I guarantee this will fall off the bone. Good. That's good enough to eat there with some vegetables. We're adding that 3rd cup. So I'd like to be a little more. I want it to be infused with the soup mix. Then we're going to also add a cup of white wine to this. And remember, when adding your water, slowly. Don't just dump the whole thing in there. Slowly. And look how it just come together. Look at that. Look at that sauce. Look at that. And this got to stand up to 2.5 hours of slow cook. Oh, I wish you could smell that. And we added that. We're done with the sauce for all practical purposes. We're done. We're going to add a little wine to it and slowly just set that rack of pork in there and go walk away and watch the football game and have a cold beer and come back and see what you got. Maybe check it within an hour, and the last hour and a half, add your vegetables so they don't be wilty. They'll still have some texture. That's why I don't add them right away. You don't want to be wilted down and all soggy. You want to have some texture. Oh, yes, it's a wonderful, wonderful dish. Add a little white wine to this. I would say it's about a cup. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm gonna add that to it. Stir that slowly. See how it's coming together? Just don't dump the wet ingredients in there. Let it slowly makes a good sauce, good roux gravy. You gotta go slow with it. All right, we're gonna let that do its thing. Let that go about 5 minutes so it'll incorporate. Then we're gonna just drop our rack of pork in there and basically cook it uncovered, by the way, because we want to get it crispy. We don't want to steam the pork. We want to cook the pork. Season that we seasoned right here. And we're going to just lay that in there, and we're going to let that cook. Do not throw this out, because we could take this here. That's goodness, too. That's some of the season. You may need that down the line. And you can mix your vegetables in here. That's some flavor as well. We're looking for flavor.
You can cook it 2 ways.
I wish you could smell the mustard, the wine, everything. There's 2 ways we can cook it. We're going to go low and slow all day on it. You can put a top on it that would have for about an hour, and then cook it the last hour and a half uncovered. We're going to go 3 1/4. Remember, low and slow. You cannot mess it up. When you're in a hurry, that's mess up a good piece of meat. So we're gonna go low and slow. I may decide to cover it because it's got a little bit in there and make up a little steam with it. And just stick it in the oven at 325, which we got preheated. And don't touch it for an hour, hour and a half. Let it do its thing. Florets so they can fit in our pot. Florets, florets. They're gonna be easy to serve. Florets, florets. And we rinse this off. Take this over here. Make some rice and we can eat. Florets. See, this is rear. Let's put that on right there. And that's all we do. That is all we do. That's it.
Go.
2 1/4 cups of water, half a tablespoon of butter, mix this till it's boiled, steam cooks rice. We're steaming the broccoli with just a little water in the steamer. We like that kind of wild rice to go pairs well with the pork. Pork, got nice texture.
What is this?
Roast rack of pork. It's got a nice color on this side. On this side. Roast rack of pork. Wild rice. And some broccoli. Let's eat. I'm hungry. Let's see what it tastes like. Steamed broccoli.
And the other thing too, if you get some type of return, you probably